So the race to the White House is officially underway. With us now, Matt Kittle is the managing editor of the Iowa Star. Matt's got a good idea as to essentially how these candidates have started the campaign. And maybe, Matt, you could just tell us what's been the response from folks in Iowa.
Lots of questions, as always. That's retail politics in Iowa, and Iowa voters, of course, and asked many of them. I was at the DeSantis event earlier this week in suburban Des Moines, and I said, hey, who are you going to caucus for? And they said, we haven't made up our minds yet. That's a lot of Iowa voters, even though the polls say Trump has a pretty substantial lead. DeSantis, of course, the number two, but they're asking a lot of questions.
Well, there's been a shift. If you remember back in 2016, I believe at that time that Trump was down leading up to obviously the primary, but still obviously edged out and won the entire thing. So polling shifts, as we've seen. But DeSantis right now making that hard pitch, or at least he did earlier this week. And he actually likened Iowa to a southern state. We'll show you that moment. Watch.
I was here in March and someone kind of took note and they're like, man, look all the stuff Iowa's doing. Iowa's like the Florida of the Midwest, they said. But I just want to let you know, after watching all the good stuff you've done in Iowa, it may be that Florida's the Iowa of the Southeast.
So there it is. Obviously, you're going to see a little bit of pandering, right, to the folks that you are visiting. But in your state, sir, you're going to see several candidates and potential candidates visit there. Why is Iowa so important?
It's the kickoff caucus state. I mean, it begins the whole nominating process, and you got to be here to finish in Iowa, which gives you the momentum, of course, to go on to New Hampshire, South Carolina, and, the rest of the map. We've seen it several times. Jimmy Carter, beginning in 1976, of course, is a perfect example of that. Barack Obama. Iowa is key, and these folks are going to be here a lot over the next several months because they understand that, Matt.
Yeah, you've got to connect with the heartland. It's important. You got to get in touch with the voters, what they're actually talking about at their kitchen tables. By the way, it might be different than what you see on mainstream media coverage. It really is what impacts your day-to-day life. Matt Kittle, thanks for joining us, sharing those updates. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.